Hey, it's me. Should you be celebrating or should I be apologizing? That's what the comments are for. Yes, videos are a tad slow, much like my will to live, so as a little bit of a consolation prize because you guys still vote on my polls, I'm gonna be releasing this video as a holdover until I can get back to my longer videos. This'll basically be me talking about games I've been playing recently in a shorter and more condensed format, while still being in a long-form video. It's kind of like TikTok, but in widescreen. So let me explain the rules for this video. Firstly, some of these games are games that I plan to make longer videos on at some point if I get the time. So if you want to see those videos in the future, then there's a little red button over there that you can click that'll put a smile on my face and most likely corrupt your search history. Secondly, I'm gonna be ranking these games with my patented long out of 10 system. So I'm gonna be summarizing them as best and as comedically as possible. So please just take my word on my opinion, okay? That's what you guys come to this channel here for, right? It's either that or to laugh at me for not liking Proteus, whatever floats your boat. And thirdly, just have fun. And give me your credit card detail. And if you guys like this video, I may do more of these in the future because me shifting content is something everyone should be used to me doing at this point. Also, if you guys are interested in any of the games I'm going to be covering in this video, then I'll link them in the description so you can give your hard-earned money to the devs. A+ for capitalism. So enough about all that, let's get into this. Thank you to Zeldas for giving me a code to this game, and if I read your name one more time as Zelda, I think I'm gonna call Nintendo for a cease and desist order. Have you ever played Quake 2? Tell me if you're one of those people who actually liked it, or one of those who bitches about it unnecessarily. I'd love to hear it. Well then, take Quake 2 and make it better. That's the best way I can describe Herald of Havoc. It's got great levels, great guns, great music, and most importantly, does what I wish Quake 2 did. Have Quake 1 level by level progression. This isn't Dark Souls, I don't need all of this interconnected shit, so this is why this game gets a win immediately. Do you remember Fear? Do you remember Titanfall? Well, if your answer is yes, then let their death sting a little bit more when you play Trepang 2. Thank you to Team 17 for the review code. I hope the more I make these two comparisons, you'll still be willing to work with me in the future, okay? But yeah, it's the best way how I can describe it. You take the Max Payne slow motion inspired gameplay of Fear, as well as the fluent movement from the Titanfall games, then you pretty much know what you're in for with Trepang 2. The only complaints I have with this game is the length. It took me mainly around 4 or 5 hours to finish it, but at least you can rizz up your character with customization as well as partake in side missions to give you a little bit more bang for your buck. Expect a full video coming on this when time favors me. In the meantime, you can watch my full playthrough of it on my second channel. Listen, I have to plug my shit every once in a while now, right? Rollerdrome is a game that makes me happy. And makes me wonder why Tony Hawk didn't ever do the 900 while mindlessly blasting the crowd with a SPAS 12. I think that this game is one of my favorite games I played all year, and it didn't even come out this year, but damn it, I need to inflate my end of year list somehow, right? Take the fluidity of movement and level structure from the Tony Hawk games, as well as the slow motion shooting from the games I just mentioned a few minutes ago, and you have unquestionably one of the best games I've played all year, and it's from the same company that made Ollie Ollie World, because mood shifts are just fun! Risk of Rain is a game that equally entertains me as well as confuses me. It's a good game for sure. I mean, what other game allows me to take out all my frustrations on Scalies? But I still don't get the whole appeal of roguelikes. Either way, the gameplay is fun and challenging. You can deck out your character in all sorts of different perks, some of which make your character look like he just escaped a psych ward, and the whole experience is just an absolute blast with friends. But sadly, if you don't have those, at least it's still fun alone. Bullets Per Minute is another roguelike, much like our previous contestant, but instead of just exploring these gigantic, vast, minimalistic environments, I feel like I just entered the mosh pit after taking 2 shots of meth. BPM is a roguelike rhythm FPS. Do you know what that means? Play Metal Hellsinger first and come back after you're a little bit more educated. In this game, you need to shoot on the beat, obviously, so if you want to make it out of each area alive, I hope you're at least a little bit musically gifted, or else your gun just won't shoot, and you'll die, and that's never fun. Well, you'll die anyway, so I guess fun isn't an option. I say I don't get the appeal of roguelike games, but yet here I am with the third one in a row. I must just be in some serious denial. Gunfire Reborn essentially takes elements from roguelikes and looter shooters to make an amalgamation of games I mentioned prior, but takes it into a more Borderlands-ish approach. Except this time you're playing as someone's favorite persona, and the game isn't owned by a shithead company, so already it gains points in both departments. Have you ever wondered what it'd be like playing as a little devil dude having his wank interrupted to make the devil a cake for his birthday, all whilst dressed up like an electric callboy member? Well, look no further. Helpa is a really fun little 3D platformer where you get to kill Nazi shit all while collecting a tampon to bake a cake with. Postal as a series, I don't think I need to give any introductions to, but with Postal Brain Damage, you can at least play this game without getting cancelled on Twitter. Postal Brain Damage is definitely my favorite game in this entire series because it embraces its goofy nature and turns the goofiness up to pure wacky. Because instead of buying milk and returning books only for things to go to shit moments later, things have gone to shit immediately and you're just kicking ass and pissing streams so hard you'll fill up the Hoover Dam. Look, it even lights on fire and you can piss liquid nitrogen. That mustn't be good for your urethra. I don't exactly know how the company that essentially made the video game version of an SFM shitpost made something like this, but hey, life is full of surprises, I guess. Tproc Galactic is just such a fun game, man. You have varied classes that have their own strengths and weaknesses. It's got some varied missions to spice up the gameplay, and you can even get shit-faced to the point where you wake up in a hospital wing with possibly no recollection of the previous day. I mean, we've all been there before, right? Now, for the fear of this man attempting to get with my mom, dude, as he did with poor old Nitro Rad, I'll need to make this one brief. This is a game I'm struggling with. I like the gameplay and the overall vibes the game's got going, especially the music, which makes me want to dress up like Kellen Quinn and act morbidly depressed. But there's just something about this game that isn't clicking with me the way most boomer shooters do. I don't just want to call the game mid because I'm not in the mood to conform to Gen Z words. A certain penguin already made a video on that, and I'm still scarred about the stuff I saw thanks to that. But I don't just want to call the game great like most people do right now because I'm just not feeling it. So if you guys want to give it a shot, the game is on Game Pass, so feel free to tell me if I'm right or don't. It's not like there's gonna be a civil conversation in the comments anyway. Would you believe me, an Undertale and Deltarune sim 10 only got around to playing Chapter 2 this year, a full 2 years since it came out, in fact. The reason for that is I just wanted to do it for a special occasion, and sharing my experience with a bunch of strangers online was probably the best way to do it. But what can I say? It's Deltarune, man. It's so good to see characters like Chris, Susie, and Ralsei back. The story was so expertly written and fucking funny. The scenarios and battles were all brand new and varied, and Taskmaster has fan art that I'm not going to disclose in this video. So please, play this game. Both of the chapters are free. Look, for this part you even get to see my face to know that my reactions were genuine. Is the fucking weeping angels or however you call them. Ah, fuck you! You mother bitch! So what would life be if Five Nights at Freddy's was actually scary? This would be a utopia if I ever laid my eyes upon one. But sadly, that's not the case because reality sucks, but at the very least we have the Ruin DLC to show us what that possibly could have looked like. This game is dark, this game is atmospheric, and this game actually gives a tiny, teensy little shit about actually trying to be scary. Unlike whatever the hell this is. I haven't finished the DLC yet, but so far, because of all the improvements it did upon the base game, I'm definitely gonna bump it up way higher. But now, we only need to wait. How will the internet have its way with this? Firstly, I'd like to know why the Hound is bleeding. Do I need to call the vet? Thank you once again to the devs for the code, so now I'll say this. It's a boomer shooter, and the first thing you see is a nudity option, so at the very least you have an option for when you're home alone. But that setting doesn't even really work half the time, because look at this! Dual chain guns? A chainsaw that is also a flamethrower? This is the most nudity I've ever seen since watching how to remove ass hair on YouTube. Hi, yeah, it's been a month again. Did you guys miss me? Yeah, me neither. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm not gonna harp on for too long with this outro because I've given all my opinions on all the games I talked about in this. So once again, if you guys are interested in any of the games, please consider buying the games on Steam, supporting the devs and all that stuff. And again, thank you so much to the devs for supplying me with the review codes. I'll be sure to try and tackle you guys' games in a much more longer video somewhere in the future, but for now, I just wanted to get this out here for you guys, and yeah, I guess I need to address the final elephant in the room. If you guys may or may not have noticed, this video was 100% inspired by Foco's I completed 100 games video, because if he can get 1 million views, so can I. So massive shout out for him for giving me kind of the inspiration to do this thing. But again, this is the first time I've ever tried doing something like this. Let me know, please, in the comments. Where else would you let me know if you guys like this video? And I will 100% be doing something like this in the future. Again, I have a massive plan for a video like this for the end of the year, so I guess you guys will just have to wait for January to see that. But again, thank you guys all so much for watching. My name has been John from the channel with the freakishly long name. If you guys did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you guys didn't like the video, then fuck. But in any case, again, I've been John from the channel with the freakishly long name, and I'll see you guys in the next video.